We'll have a moment of silent meditation and then pledge to the flag. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. I call this meeting to order. All three county commissioners here. And the first thing we will do is have consents and approval from the county administrator.
We have 24 exonerations for $4,324.86. Vouchers for general county, $233,445.43. 911, $994.77. Chestnut Ridge Park, $2,204.28. Camp Muffley, $2,101.83. Mason-Dixon Park, $3,528.98. Assessor's valuation, $5,344.63. Morgantown Industrial TIF, $171,201.75. Purchasing card vouchers, general county, $20,766.56. 911, $1,671.72. Home confinement, $8,478.14. Chestnut Ridge Park, $612.09. Camp Muffley, $86.30. Mason-Dixon Park, $665.13. Assessor's valuation, $626.50 for a voucher total of $451,728.11. We have position vacancies for boards and authorities: the Western Board of Zoning Appeals, the Planning Commission, Development Authority, Building Commission, and Camp Muffley Advisory Board. Fiduciary orders for May 8th, 2019. And you have a separate item.
Yes.
That you can take up later.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Can you deal with the new employees first?
Sure.
And then go back to...
Okay, then we'll do new employees, and then we will come back to the fiduciary situation. Do we have any new employees? Hi, come on down, Perry.
Thank you, for Renetta, for that.
Sure.
Good morning. So
Good morning.
today I'm here to introduce you all to Catherine O'Brien. She has been working as an intern in our office as a student here at WVU for some time and is now, with the Commission's approval, going to be our part-time assistant program coordinator. She's graduating this Sunday with her degree in psychology, and we're happy that she's agreed to stay on for a bit with us.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great. Where are you from?
Buffalo, New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations and welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
all.
We can use you. But Perry, really.
And if you can excuse me, I have to be in court
No,
at 10:30.
go right ahead.
So
That's fine.
thank you all very much. Thank
Is
you,
there
Renetta.
someone else? Hi, come on down. Good morning.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm here to introduce you guys to Quinn Sherlock and Capri Yancey. Quinn Sherlock will be for the head cook part-time seasonal position. She will start May 9th, 2019. Capri Yancey will be for the assistant head cook part-time seasonal position. She will start May 9th, 19.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion or? We're excited to
Glad to
have, yeah, excited.
Thanks. Thankful the positions have been filled.
Yes, we appreciate it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Welcome.
Welcome. Look forward to going out there and eating the food.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other? Look, okay. If not, we have a fiduciary estate to discuss. What I would like to do to run the meeting expeditiously is we have an objection. So I know there's 6 different people at least that have an objection. I'd like one person to stand up who would like to speak for them, and then anyone else could speak. We're asking that the first person speak no more than 3 minutes, and then the others speak for 2 minutes. Then we will have the person who wants to respond to that, and then we will have you allowed to respond to that, and then we will make our decision from that. And we'll try and be as open and fair as possible, okay? So who would like to come up and state your name and explain what you've requested, and you can say other people with you, and if they want to speak, you're more than welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm Laura Harrington Arnett, and we just decided this together as a group
Okay.
because We filed the petition due to a lack of communication from Ms. Hall and for his estate to be finalized. The questions and concerns we have are how the estate is being handled. The secondary person that could be the executress is here today, and she's willing to take responsibility. Our concerns include the fact that no one has received a copy of the will. Mrs. Williams' attorney was advised from her that most beneficiaries do receive a copy of the will. It was filed on July 2nd, and
What year? Just gonna,
2018.
thank you. Okay.
We went online and found it ourselves so that we could see what was there. And in his will, he stated that within 90 days after his death, he wanted us to be able to go to his house and divide household goods, vehicles, animals, equipment. This never happened. We were never even told any of this. And like I said, if we wouldn't have went online and found the will, we wouldn't have known this either. In a conversation with Ms. Williams, Ms. Hall said that she was showing the property in November, but no contact was made with us to whether or not we would be interested in purchasing the property ourselves. And it's our understanding that there's no appraisal of the property, so we don't even know how much it would be valued at to try to purchase, or who is trying to purchase. At that time, I tried to make contact and never received anything back from her. I know she says she left a message. I never received that message. Concerning the contact with Mrs. Williams' attorney, she emailed back, but there was never anything. She said that there would be information coming soon. That was the only contact that was ever received. She also stated that there were delays in receiving the death certificates. The records here show that Charleston received the request for the death certificates on April 5th, and they were here in Morgantown on April 16th. And he passed away late in March. A contract was also agreed upon with Arch Coal for $10,000 to release the property. This was like, I don't know if a reclamation company was ever consulted for that reclamation. It connects to my father's property, so there's a concern there that it wasn't like put back the way it should be. There was a delay with the appraisal. She says a new appraisal was hired. We don't know when this took place. Again, we don't know anything about the value of the property. We have no accounting history of any of his accounts, if there was life insurance policies or anything. When I came to the courthouse to inquire about the final accounting of the estate, I was told that she hadn't responded to any letters that the courthouse had sent to her either. There was a couple at the time, I guess, I don't know. But that's basically our main concern, is that we haven't had any kind of communication. We don't know what's going on. And if the property is being shown to people, we don't know why we haven't been informed that we could also be.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? You're more than welcome. Just if you come up and state your name and how you're related, or,
I'm his.
okay, if you have your
niece.
name, so,
I'm Pam Chips Williams.
okay.
I'm Robert's niece. The biggest thing was, she had stated in her rebuttal that she did not get stuff done because of a delay in the house or death certificate. It was the end of June. He passed away. His funeral was March 25th, I believe. And she did not receive the death certificate, according to her, until the end of June. According to the record department here, it was available here on April 16th. So why the delay? So that was part of her reason for why there was delay in the beginning. We are also another member in the beneficiary. Beth was also concerned that she had not received the title to the car that he had left her. It was a straight out give to her, and that has not been dealt with either. So she was concerned about that and wanted us to bring that up as well. As far as my attorney, I have a copy of his letter here if you want to state. There was a letter sent in December. She responded in January by an email, And as of January 2nd, when that email came in, she had stated that she would be giving regular updates. And according to the attorney's office, she has done nothing as far as communication with them or with me. So that is, it's total lack of communication and keeping everybody informed and letting people know what's going on and asking about the property. I don't believe she should have been showing the property until she has contacted the 13 people on that list if they want the property. And at this point, all 13 of us do want the property.
Okay.
Okay.
Would it be possible, so we could at least look at the letter that was sent by your
attorney's-
attorney?
Yes.
I don't believe we have that.
Yeah, I just got it from him.
Okay, and I'll share it with the others, okay? I just want to read it, okay?
Okay. And that's kind of all I need to do.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Okay. Seeing none, I would like, at this time, the individual, is Karen Hall here?
Yes.
Okay, Karen, would you like to come down, state your name, and without getting into individuals, just respond to the, I guess we'll call it allegations or questions, okay?
Sure. My name is Karen Hall, and I'm the executrix of the Robert Harrington estate. I've represented Mr. Harrington since 2008
Okay.
on various matters, and he requested that I handle his estate. There have been some delays, and the death certificates may have been available in the clerk's office. I did not receive the certified copies that I had requested from the funeral home until June. After that, then you make an appointment to meet with the fiduciary clerk to begin the process. That occurred on July 2nd, when the will was entered for probate. And to be honest, I thought it used to be the clerks, when they sent out a letter to letting you know that you were the heirs, I thought they included a copy of the will with that. So that might be my misunderstanding. I don't recall ever telling anyone that I've never shown the property to try to sell the property. I can't do that until I get an appraisal of the property. I did file an annual accounting, which was in early for the annual accounting because I did not qualify until July 2nd. The code talks about filing an appraisement within 90 days of appointment. Well, that can't be done if you don't have all the information before you. I guess you could file an incomplete appraisal, but that doesn't really serve the beneficiaries. I have a duty to all of them to make sure that they maximize their their bequest. And the issue is trying to value the property. I mean, liquidating the CDs and his annuities, it was not that hard to find out the value of them. Although, actually, United Bank kept telling me that he did not have a CD. He had told me which branches he dealt with, and he had told me before he died, I suggest you go to those because they're familiar with me. So I went to the United Bank branch that he told me that he dealt with, and I believed that there was a CD, and they kept putting me off. So I finally went to another branch, and in fact, there was a CD there. So I was able to obtain those assets. As far as the appraisal of the real estate, I consulted another attorney, Bob Berryman, who does a lot of real estate work, to find an appraiser that would be able to, one, give me a realistic appraisal, not a pie-in-the-sky appraisal as to what it might sell for 2 years from now or something like that, but also one that could testify in court if necessary, because some of the beneficiaries are minors, and in order to complete the sale, we're going to have to go to circuit court, have a declaratory judgment action to have the circuit court approve the sale of this property, because there are minors involved. And so Mr. Berryman had given me the name of, I think it was Jack Hall, I think is his name, and he had contacted him on my behalf, and we began the process of talking about him coming out to appraise the property. When we found out that the bond had not been released from the previous mine lease, then we had to contact Arch Cole to find out the status of that. And Mr. Berryman met with the representative on my behalf, and again, there's been no expense to the estate. He's a friend of mine, and he did this to assist me. That individual, they went out and they looked at the property, because the choice was they could pull the ditches that were there. and reclaim the property, but it would change the landscape a little bit. And by pulling the ditches that were there, because Mr. Harrington was very specific, and he told them he did not want ponds put on his property, so they did these ditches and did certain other things. But if those were pulled, then the house at the bottom of the hill, which I believe is the movant's father's house, that there could be a likelihood that there would be water would rush down that hill. And so that was my conversations with the representative from March Cole. So Mr. Berryman, on my behalf, went out with him and met with him, and we tried to see if their offer of 10,000, I got them up to 10,000, if they would go higher, and they didn't go higher. But now I just received earlier this week where they're advertising to finalize the permit. Their reclamation bond was only 11,000, so they went up to almost the maximum of the bond.
Okay, so let me ask a question before the others that we ask a question. And being as it is right now, what, if we were to keep you, what is your plans from
Okay.
here on out? So at least we have an idea of what we're discussing, okay?
Yes. Well, I just received the first, just to answer that, the first appraiser was never able, he had a family emergency. I think his father developed cancer
Okay.
or something like that. So he wasn't able to do that. So we contacted a second appraiser, and they have just, yesterday I received, at 2:30, I received, there are two parcels. There's like a 53 or 57 point something acre parcel, and then there's a 1 point something acre across the street. She has
Okay.
finalized her appraisal, so I now have what she believes the value of that property is, and she's provided me with some other information. So basically, that's the last piece of the puzzle. I will be ready to file my appraisement. And the will clearly states that heirs have the right, if they want to buy the property, they can buy the property. But it also clearly states that they have to be willing to pay fair market value. I couldn't ascertain that until I have a licensed appraiser tell me what the property is worth. You know, in an estate that isn't, the land isn't that valuable, you can take what the assessed value is, divide it by 60%, and that's supposed to be fair market value according to West Virginia code. But that's not always the case whenever you have larger parcels and there's a possibility that there may be some interest in that property.
Okay, so I understand. What other steps are you planning to do? So, I mean, is there anything else?
Well, I mean, I plan to offer it to them first. The
Okay.
will says that. If they're willing to pay the fair market value, then they can have the property. I've never shown the property. I think there was a misunderstanding. Mr. Savage, who owns adjacent property, came out, and maybe it was November, and he drove me onto his property to sort of show me where he believed the boundary
But you're
lines
saying
were.
you've never shown the property to anyone else?
Not as to purchase it. Now,
Okay.
he may be a potential person interested because he owns adjacent property.
Okay, wait a second. What do you mean to purchase it?
I'm saying
So you did show property?
No, he showed me the property. I'm saying, but he is a potential person that might be interested at some point.
Was there anyone, I'm just trying to clarify, because that seems to be a big stumbling block between the two groups. So did you, just to get clarification, I'm not causing a problem. Did you show the property to anyone else besides that neighbor?
No.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify. Okay, so you're ready to move forward now?
Yes.
And you would like to stay on as?
Yes.
Okay,
Because the fact is, the things that are left, declaratory judgment action is going to require an attorney to do that.
okay. Do either of you would like to ask questions before we send it back to respond? Because I'm trying to get a picture.
I understand.
Well, I'd like to ask a question.
Sure.
Carrie, could you tell me the process for the will? And there does seem to be some confusion about when the will is available and when Ms. Hall had an official copy. What is the process with the clerk's office in distributing the will?
Well, we do not distribute the will. When the executrix or executor of an estate brings the will in, it is put open for probate, and I believe she did that in July. And so she brought the original will in, and we put it of record, and we scan it, and we put it available into our system. And then we mail out letters to all of the persons that were named in that will as a beneficiary. And then those individuals know that there was a will presented that they were named in, and they can either look on our electronic record search to see the copy, or they would get with the executrix and, you know,
So
to
they're
find out
notified that
more
a will
information.
exists and they have ability to go pull that will up electronically or come to your office and get a copy.
Right, we do not make a copy.
Gotcha.
We are only a recorder's office, so we do not hold any kind of will readings or anything like that. We just notify the potential beneficiaries that they were named or have been named in a will.
Okay, but this, I heard in the conversation, the death certificates were requested in April, and they were in your office in April? So what's the difference between that and what version you're looking for?
The state does have a delay, Sean.
I
It's
need
not-
a certified
Yeah.
death certificate
So-
from the state
Yes.
with the seal in order to go to the various banks. in
And that
order-
didn't come till, that comes to you or to the clerk's office?
It goes, the funeral home requests it,
Yes.
and then they get it, and then he called me and made an appointment, because I had been calling him saying, I need these things to get started, and he actually brought them to my office. And once upon a time, before they got so busy, you could just come over, pop over and say, I want to open up an estate. Now, you go on the website and you request an appointment. And there was no point in doing that, and well, I guess I could have opened up the state anytime that they had it in their office, but I wouldn't have been able to move forward, because when I went to United Bank, or I went to First United Bank and Trust, I wouldn't have been able to say, well, you can look on their website and they've got it. I needed one with the raised
I
seal.
understand.
Okay.
Thank you. So in terms of the whole process, how much more time, if everything goes right?
That was going to be my question as well.
Yeah.
If everything goes right, when can the beneficiaries expect this to be resolved? Now, I understand if none of them's willing to pay fair market value, it could go up to sell, and then those proceeds would then go back to the beneficiaries eventually.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
But when can, if we were to wrap this up, what's the best case for wrapping it up, and what's an average that you would expect to be able to wrap it up?
I hope they do purchase it, because that will be a lot quicker. There's a piece of property, my appraiser told me that's for sale in the vicinity, and she spoke to the realtor. That's been on the market for almost 200 days, all right? So, you know, but there's also another big piece, a parcel of property that's getting ready to come on the market. So, and it's very nearby. So I hope they buy it, because if they are able to make the fair market value, then I filed the petition for declaratory judgment, which is an expedited proceeding in the circuit court, which means it gets advanced on the docket relatively quickly. And then the court would appoint attorneys for the minors to make sure that the adults aren't trying to do anything that harm any minor's interests in the estate. And then once the court approves it and the sale is approved, and any tax matters, there would.
So what are we talking the timeline? That's what the question.
Well,
Roughly.
Yeah, roughly.
I can file the appraisement this week.
Okay.
All right? And then they can make their offer based upon that. I will send them out a copy. I will send them out a copy of the will. I really thought that they already had that. There was only one.
And then one other question, you guys mentioned 90 days after death, you're supposed to be allowed in the house for all the belongings. Have you collected all the belongings?
We have never been notified, we've never been taken to the house.
I thought
We've
we.
never even been told.
I'm sorry, I thought we discussed it at the luncheon, because that the heirs that came to the funeral. So, I mean, they can come to the house, and there are actually two houses. The one house is in,
Okay, we understand, yeah.
So there's nothing stopping the house from being made available for them to go collect? And is there any oversight from you?
well,
for
the
that
only thing
perspective?
was yeah, I mean, I would need to be there to let them in and everything like that. They're gonna have to be agreement. I mean, 13 people can't share a couch. 13 people can't, I mean, you know, items can't be necessarily, you know, they have to agree upon them.
You can't divide this couch into 13 spots.
No, you can't
huh?
divide his bed into
Okay.
13 pieces either.
Yeah.
And if another, Carrie, this might be another question for you, if another executress were to be brought on,
Yeah,
how
sorry.
much would that delay this whole process?
Well, they would have to, I don't necessarily know how much it would delay. It depends on how much Ms. Hall has done, but if there was a secondary executrix named in the will, I'm not certain, to serve without bond. If there wasn't, then whomever would would step in would have to be bonded. It's not an easy answer for me to give.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
Right on the spot, but
I would assume that there would be some delay, though.
I would assume that there would be, just because you are changing horses in the middle of the stream. So.
That's all the questions I have.
Okay, thank you. If you would like to respond just to her comments, you have 2 minutes to give us so we could get and then we'll go from there.
Well, I was the one she told that she was showing the property to Monty Savage, a neighbor, and she told me at that time that he's very interested in buying the property, but she did not give him any appraisal prices because she didn't have it. And at that conversation, I had told her that what she had given me an estimate before in a first conversation in a long time, right after the funeral, I said I would not be happy or accepting of that value. And her comment to me at that point was, it doesn't matter what you want, it's what I want to do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have information in front of us. This is the one time I'm going to be quiet and let you two first speak.
Well, I would like to put a time parameter
Yes.
on retention. I would move that we retain the executive. She was named by Mr. Harrington, and see that 90 days be sufficient. Carrie, would 90 days be sufficient to?
Well, if she's just now filing the appraisement, which she's gonna file
Yes.
this week, then it has to be published and open up a time for creditors to apply against the estate, which will be 90 days. You're probably looking to close the estate, you're probably looking at another 6 months, I would venture to guess, by the time she files a declaratory judgment and tries to
I
get that
just
through
think we
court.
should put a parameter of time to be completed.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Would it be beneficial to say that, have them come back here in 90 days to see exactly what's being done?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that would be I would ask you for part of the motion. Also, I assume that the three of us have heard, we would like you to open up the house, even if they can go through and make documentation of what they would like or not like, then you can fight it out later, but I believe they have that right and should be out. Also, will you also give them a copy of the death certificate,
Well,
or the will?
The will, yes.
Yes, okay, so we have that. Is there anything else?
I will send that with a copy of the appraisement.
Okay, okay. Should we have our appraisal group go out and look at it? No? No? Okay, no, that's not, okay.
No, and, so Ed, could
And I
you
think-
restate your motion?
Yeah.
I believe that we'll restate the motion as to a time parameter of 6 months for completion, but a review in 90 days.
I second that.
Okay, been properly moved and second.
This is retention of the
Yes.
executives.
And then we will reset that in 90 days. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it passes at this time that, we would appreciate if you would follow through with the situation and keep us informed, and document anything. It's always easier if you document something. Again, it's one she said versus she said. I'd rather have documentation.
Well, Carrie has in her office an accounting, that sheet that you sent up that shows everything that's happened on the estate.
Okay.
So, that can be made available to the beneficiaries if they'd want to see that at any
Yes.
time. I mean, it has, any time there's a comment made, or
Oh,
a
okay.
letter or
Good.
anything, it's documented in there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Hopefully we can get this resolved. Okay. Okay, introduction, we did, okay, comments from the public? At this time, anyone like to come before us, state your name, and you have 3 minutes to give, oh, okay, well, we could do the letter of carriers proclamation since you've been waiting, go ahead. Well, then we'll do the comments from the public.
Okay, didn't know I had to do that.
No, no, that's,
Okay.
no, we have the letter carriers proclamation.
You're on the agenda.
You're on the agenda, but
All
go
right,
ahead.
okay. My name is Guy Panrell, retired letter carrier, president of Branch 783. Been involved with the food drive for the past 27 years. Been the coordinator the whole time, and appreciate your proclamation. Whereas every year on the second Saturday in May, letter carriers across the country collect non-perishable food as part of the nation's largest one-day food drive, distributing food to local food banks. Whereas the letter carriers Stamp Out Hunger food drive is just one example of how letter carriers work to make difference in the lives of those they serve. Since the pilot program held in 1991, more than 1.67 billion pounds of food have been collected. And whereas we recognize all letter carriers for their hard work and their commitment to their communities, all of the food collected in the community stays in our community, and it supports carriers' efforts to help those who need in our community. Whereas we recognize the noteworthiness milestone of 27 years that the letter carriers food drive celebrates in 2019. Now therefore, we, the Monongalia County Commission, do hereby proclaim Saturday, May 11th, 2019 as Letter Carriers Food Drive Day in Monongalia County, and we encourage the citizens of our community to support the food drive by placing non-perishable items in or near your mailbox on the food drive day. Your letter carrier will pick up while delivering the mail, and together we can all help feel the hunger. Also, I want to put an addendum.
Sure.
United Way helps, and we send out volunteers that will be out there with the letter carriers to try not to, you know what overtime's all about, so we can't do that. But anyway, we normally collect around 11 or 12 tons. We've collected as high as 18 tons, and we have approximately 10 or 12 local food banks, all within the county, that are involved with this, and it's a needed thing. And would also ask if Bloom News could put it out on Facebook.
Sure, I'd be honored. Do I have a motion for accepting the proclamation?
So moved.
The second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And thank you for what you do. We couldn't do it without you, because, I mean, that food does go to our community. We're very- Yes.
Is this their logo? Is that theirs?
Oh, yes. Could you do me a favor and just hand that back to that young lady? Thank you.
Thank you.
And what we'll do is we'll make a copy
Thank you, Guy.
of that.
Thanks for encouraging him.
Yes.
Oh, or is that we don't need to make it up? Yeah, we need to make it, we're gonna make a copy of it, okay. Okay.
Just hang out until the end of
It shouldn't be too much longer. Yeah. Okay, now we will have comments from the public. And if you'd like to come before us, welcome and state your name, and we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, my name's Ron Bain, and I live in the city of Morgantown. I live on 720 Astor Avenue. I have a document if I'd like to give to you before I speak.
Sure, go ahead, right ahead.
Thank you.
Yes.
What I brought before you is, it started out as Senate Bill number 4 of the state legislature, but it has passed. And it will be in the code of the state of West Virginia, and it goes into effect 90 days past March 9th, which will be the 7th of June. And that new code number is 8-1-5A of the West Virginia State Code. The reason why I bring this in front of you is I think that this, you are the extension of the state, so I wanted to let you guys know first. If you look at the highlighted area on page 3, this subject matter talks about the Municipal Home Rule Program. The Municipal Home Rule program started several years ago as a pilot project. That is coming to an end. And the state legislature has changed it to the Municipal Home Rule Program, not the pilot program. And if you look at item 7, 7B, they changed the pilot program and establish it as the municipal home rule program. Now, the important thing is the next sentence. It says, any plan amendment to the plan approved by the board during the period of the municipal home rule pilot program is continued. Any ordinance, action, resolution, rule, regulation enacted by the participating municipality under the provisions of this section during the period of the municipal home rule pilot program shall continue in full force, and unless or in effect unless or until repealed. But here's the key. Provided that the municipalities that are participating in the municipal home rule program shall update their ordinances, acts, resolutions, rules, and regulations to comply to any additional and modifications of subsections I, subsection J, and subsection K. So please go to page 8. Page 8, under subsection J, number 2, this is very important. It says, enacts an occupational tax fee or assessment payable by a non-resident or a municipality. If you look at the part that says J, it says the municipalities participating in the home rule program may not pass an ordinance, act, resolution, rule, or regulation under the provisions of this section. And number 2 clearly states that you cannot, after June 7th, apply their user fee, when I'm talking about Morgantown, to any non-resident. Because it says an occupational tax, and the user fee is based on where you work. Okay? So they're going to, the statement may be from the city council saying, well, it's a user fee. Well, no, it's an occupational fee because it's based on where you work. So what I'm telling you all is that I would like for you to investigate this, ask your attorneys, because here's the thing. I don't want anybody to pay a tax or a fee that they shouldn't be paying. And I know Ed, you don't live in the city, but you pay a fee, and Sean.
I live in the city.
You live in the city.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Sean would not be exempt from this, nor would I, because I work in the city and I live in the city. But Ed would, and I think, Tom, you live outside the city too.
Yes.
So please look at this. It's important because what happens is I have not heard one thing from city council. They've not said one thing about this, and it's looming. It's coming. The other thing, too, is that there are some other provisions in there, and I will give this to the Dominion Post so that they can look at it. There also is a provision in here that by July 1st, the city of Morgantown will have to pay a $2,000 fee to continue to participate in the home rule program. They haven't said a word about it. If they miss that deadline, they will have a fine of another $2,000. That will be $4,000 after July 1st. Hopefully, they will do that. And then the last thing is, to continue to be in this program, they have to make sure that they do an update every December 1st. It must go to the municipal home rule board as a review for every year that their home rule initiatives are still going as planned. So this is just more of an FYI, but I would like for you to look at that for your employees, because I know you have a lot of dedicated employees for the county, and if you want to pass this on to the school board, you can, or if I can bring it to them too. But I think that there are people that live, or that work inside the city but live outside the city, and this is one way that we can make sure that this is correct. So, any questions? I got to go to work. So
Yes, I'll ask to suspend the rules since I know you have to go to work. Does either of you have a question at this time, or?
No, I don't have any question. I'll certainly take a look at it.
And we will definitely pass it on to our legal staff immediately.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing
Thank
this
you.
to our attention.
Thank
Did
very
you
much.
bring this to the city's attention?
My relationship with the city right now is not the best, and I would think that they would not listen to what I had to say, or I would use the word poo-poo it on the side. So that's why I'm bringing it to you all, because you are an extension of the state for this county, and I find that all three of you are reasonable people that will look at it and make sure it's done correctly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will look at it. Okay. Is there anyone else wanting to speak at the public hearing? Anyone's permitted to?
Comments from the public?
Comment from the public?
It's
Okay.
okay.
Seeing none, we'll move on. Colleen Coon with grants.
Okay. I have requests for reimbursements. The first one is the JJDP, the Voices 2 program, in the amount of $1,563.08. I have another JJDP. This is for the DMC portion. It's in the amount of $3,328.06. I also have the VOCA grant in the amount of $5,653.22. And lastly, the Community Corrections Grant for the Day Report Center in the amount of $16,615.28.
Thank you.
Move for approval?
Second?
Proper moving second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Number 8, we have postponed the public hearing regarding the proposed annexation application submitted by the town of Granville. Did you want to make a statement?
No,
For
basically, there's a question about the meets and bounds and whether it matched the map that we were provided. So we went back to Granville and asked them to look into it and to correct it if needed be, or provide explanation. And then once they provide that back to us, then we'll set another date for a public hearing. So we'll have to go through the notification process just to do everything to the letter of the law.
Okay. Number 9, correspondence. We received the third quarter levy financials from the city of Westover, correct? Okay. Any other correspondence?
No, sir.
Okay. Unfinished business. I don't see any. Do you have any?
No.
Okay. New business. A, to consider approval for requisition number 15 for the Morgantown Industrial Park Series 2017A Phase 2 Project Fund. Do I have a motion to approve? And
I'm sorry.
I was looking
You
for
caught
the
me off
actual,
guard.
I don't see it
No, I don't
in the
either.
file.
I'm not sure where my copy went. The total requisition is for $220,170.85. Expenses are to $40,000 to Adrian Enterprises and $180,170.85 to Stone Paving for construction demolition.
Move for approval?
Second?
properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Second is to consider request from Morgantown Pony Baseball to change the scope for the fiscal year 2019 grant.
Move for approval?
Second?
It's moved in second. For clarification, they had decided to go with a different direction of what they wanted to do with the grant they already had, and they're just asking for the scope to change. So it's not a new.
I assume they're planning on spending this before the end of the fiscal
Yes.
year?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, it's been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It passes. Any other new business?
No.
Seeing none? Any reports from elected officials? Seeing none? I'm sorry, I apologize.
I'm not an elected official, but I'm here.
You
I'm
represent,
here
go
to
ahead,
stay.
state your name so that.
Patrick Tenney, Chief Deputy Assessor for the Monongalia County Assessor's Office. I just wanted to let everybody know that as our field appraisers are out this year, we, within the last week, finished up the Battelle section of the county in Blacksville, and now our appraisers are in the Clay districts, both for residential and commercial, just so in
Okay.
case anybody sees folks out, that's where our folks are at.
Thank you for
All
the
right, thank you.
update. Okay, reports from county commissioners, Sean?
Since last week, last Thursday, we had the Monongalia County Extension 4-H building meeting. The building's coming along. We're getting at the point where we're probably gonna start needing to meet weekly, because now that they have the roof over the pavilion part, and they had a quarter of the roof done last week when I was there, and we've had decent weather, so I suspect they have their roof over the remaining part, which now a lot more of the work can take off. So looking forward to that. On Friday, I had lunch with Patrick and the assessor. And Monday, I had a meeting with the industrial park developers. So I knew about the requisition. That's why I was okay with going ahead and approving it without the copy here. But I was completely aware of the requisition, and we talked about it. And today, we have a full day, and at the end of the day, I have an Development Authority Executive Committee meeting. And tomorrow, I have my Red Team and Development Authority meeting, so it's a pretty busy week. That's all I have.
I also attended last Thursday the extension meeting. Friday, it was my privilege to represent Commission in Preston County. This was for the ribbon cutting of the water treatment plant for the Cheat River. The Friends of Cheat, as well as Mon County Commission, me and the Preston County Commissioners were all present, as was the governor. And it's really great to see streams come back to life. That's part of our heritage here is clean water. So this is really a remarkable treatment plant. It's the only one literally permitted currently in the United States. So this is a big deal. I think that much could be made of this. I was also able to convey by certain means and ways our concerns to the governor regarding the roads and what's going on in Monongalia County. Yesterday was the second meeting that we had for a bid process for the Junior Angus Show to be held at the new Extension and 4-H Center 2 years from now. This was kind of exciting because it did involve, again, two members of the board who reside in Preston County and came down to meet with us and also to tour the facility. And I think they were very excited because not just the potential of what we have to offer at Milan Park, but literally the amenities that we have. This decision is going to be made. It's going to be in West Virginia, whether or not it's going to be here or at the state fairgrounds will be decided by the committee as a whole. Our application, however, does not have to be in until September. So we're working on the application. We'll meet again soon. This evening, I do have the Extension Services meeting. And again, as with Sean said, we'll be meeting weekly. So Tuesday, Extension and 4-H Center meeting again. And lastly, to all, Happy Mother's Day. If you have your mom still with you, please hug her. I miss my mother every day.
Thank you very much. I did represent the county at the pedestrian committee, and we have 3 areas that we are working on. We will be getting a bill soon, but as of right now, the cost for the 3 is over, to fix it up is over $55,000. However, we have an agreement that the university and the county would only put up to $15,000, and the city would pick up the difference, and we'll be able to get you and explain all that as soon as the bill probably comes in the next week or so. Also, I do want to say that last night there was a discussion held about the new water line for MUB, and I just want it real clear that MUB does represent the city and the county as a utility. And I want to congratulate Mr. Ball. I really want to support him in his discussion and his willingness to consider all other options. But I also think it's very important to make it clear that this has been going on for 3.5 years. We've had numerous meetings here. We've had numerous meetings in the city, and not one person has shown up. So, again, I will speak as an individual county commissioner representing the Western End, where I've received numerous phone calls, and I am adamantly opposed to an increase of the possibility of $5 million more in taxes just to save a couple trees, and I believe we could use that money to buy many trees and replant it. So I'm very concerned that when MUB makes that decision, they make the decision in the best interest of all the residents in the city and the county, and that's all I'll say.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Properly moved and second. We be gone.